Yo, it's your boy, your little baby boy. It's me. This is working. So far, so bad. Ooh, let me see here. Making sure that, like, this is working is my favorite part of every day. It is. These are just facts. It's my favorite part of any day. Oh my goodness. I don't think that this is working. I don't think that I'm actually streaming. I think I'm being lied to. That's upsetting. I don't like being lied to. YouTube, don't you know that you should treat other people the way you'd like to be treated? It's not a big request. It is not a hard thing to do. That rule is so old that it's older than the Bible. It's written in Hammurabi's text. Hammurabi's code, the basis of all law. Come on YouTube, you can do this. $240 into the broadcast. We still are unsure. Oh, now it says it's live. Come on now. Here we go. 2 minutes of every broadcast. Every time I do this. Okay, so I'm gonna be deleting the old video with its exact name because it cut off 25 seconds into the stream, and whenever I try to play it, it cuts off even more. So we'll redo some of these missions, and after that, you know, I'll start crying. Let me see. Pinpointed, intel, extracted, diamonds. Okay, so yeah, that's good enough. Well, this seems to be in order. So we got to redo a few missions that we did last time. Unfortunately, I have no idea what the hell I was talking about during that particular stream, so your guess is as good as mine. You might have noticed on my channel that I have gotten another video from the Let's Play series up. Let's Play for the Demon Souls remake.
Research has been stolen. The research materials have been packed into 2 containers and hidden in the jungle southwest of the mansion. Enemy extraction choppers will be there any minute. You have to find and retrieve those containers before they arrive. That area is being guarded by zero-risk security, and their client is XOF. If the choppers make off with the containers, you need a cargo-capable Fulton extraction device to recover the containers. Use your iDroid to order its development and have it dropped in.
Okay.
Be careful down there, boss.
So I've learned to do an S-rank all task. You really can't be screwing around here. You gotta hustle. And you might not really have time to do a little collectathon for every single soldier that you see either. So in case you were wondering, here's the diner. Just in case you haven't figured that out from literally every other guide that's out here on YouTube, which are of course of much higher quality than anything that I've ever done. Certain things that we don't actually get a repeat of. It's not that important. So like the filler episode for Extreme Trader's Caravan, it goes exactly the way that the regular caravan did. The Trader's Caravan. What I did during that particular live stream was I went
Guards, they must know where the containers are. If you can just squeeze it out of them.
Man. Alright, you two kids, you're gonna go take a nap. That's what you kids are doing. And you're gonna tell me where your commander is so I can do that task. That's what you're gonna do. These two of the guards are talking.
I've updated the info on your iDroid. Take a look.
The guards around here especially.
Strictly a need-to-know basis. Where are your friends?
The guards around here in particular, see, he's identified where the commander is. Now the commander has a solid starting location that's pretty common.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Boss, looks like they're stepping up security around the targets. Watch yourself.
Of course, you get more points to you get more points whenever you get headshots. I believe you get more points whenever you interrogate these people. Of course, you get more points whenever you don't use reflex. That was a mistake. But we are going to try to use S-rank all paths. Just 5U. And I mean just 5U. Because it's more than just 4U. You understand? That's how much I care. That's how much I care about you and your life. And our status as best friends. You and I. And I'm gonna end up taking all of them out. Shooing away D-Wolf. There we go.
Our early warning radar still hasn't picked up the enemy choppers. But it's only a matter of time before they arrive.
No, it's not. I think that the enemy choppers do not actually appear until you trigger the, until you get the first container. I think that's whenever that triggers the countdown timer. You got 10 minutes to get the second container. So anyway, for Extreme Trader's Caravan, which you missed, I got spotted whenever I went to get the intel file at the start of the mission, and listened to all the recordings for the old tasks, and still got the S rank at the end of all of it, even though I died to the skulls like 10 times or something, and I was in a battle suit. I was on the battle suit. I am placing time on my skill or lack thereof. So, just in case you wanted to know, even on extreme for Trader's Caravan, you can die 111 times. Get spotted. And still get an all-task S rank. The winning move for the Skulls fight in Extreme Trader's Caravan in the last stream that you missed, the winning move just so happened to be a thing where you just hide and toss sleep grenades and ask for a refill on your sleep grenades whenever you run out of them, and you just do that over and over again. It's pretty incredible.
Feel the roots. Become one with the forest. The forest is aware of the enemy's noise. You must be too.
Could speak. Where are your friends?
You gotta extract him.
Where are the
Subject on board.
Now,
Where are the others?
in addition to, I had only seen this whole technique pulled off once. You hide, you might even lead, because the skulls will inexorably start to make their way to your position.
Target to go. Take care of the next one.
And so they'll slowly stumble towards you.
Just picked up the enemy choppers. We'll keep you
And so,
hurry up and extract the target. You
gotta hold down the action button for that little maneuver.
If we attack Mgsv now, it'll be a declaration of war against Cypher itself. That time will come, but it's not now.
Did you get something, kitty? Sorry. Cat was making weird noises. Thought maybe he choked on a rat or something like that. Here we go.
Where are the others?
Son of a bitch.
You gotta extract him. Alright. Target extraction confirmed.
Something like that.
Avoided the worst possible outcome.
Until you do an S rank for all tasks,
Go
Something
ahead
like
and
that.
call the chopper. You can also exfiltrate the mission area by land.
That one task, it didn't go very well, but
Mission complete.
there's your S rank. You get the general idea. Son of a bitch. I didn't mean to skip that. Anyways, they get Code Talker's resources back. Everyone is very happy. They sing Kumbaya. They hold hands. They swap spit in the showers. All the above. I will redo this one as well for you because it is very particular with the strategy. I should have put on the damn battle suit. I'm gonna die in one hit. I'm going to put on the battle suit. I'm gonna have to abandon this mission so I can put on the battle suit, or else I'm gonna have to order it every time that I fail. Because I haven't found a way to not get shot at all. S-rank all tasks is a little bit more difficult with this one.
Boss, you okay?
What's going on, kitty cat, huh? What's going on, kitty cat, huh? Little angel. My little angel kitty. Came back in the house all covered in a thin layer of mist. The mist unit, the skulls. Here we go. Metal suit, and yeah, that's fine. Actually, that's more like it. Yeah, that's fine. I said no to high quality weapons. I'm probably going to get the lowest quality, Oh, I love you too, kitty cat. He's giving me little cat kisses. Don't you wish you were getting little cat kisses? Well, you can't. Because you don't have my cat. And he's a little sweetheart. Don't you bite me, punk.
Boss, you okay? Could it be that sniper? Quiet. Quiet. Our silent assassin. Where's the sniping point?
She's humming the theme from Undertale, by the way. I'm kidding. She's not humming the theme from Undertale. Why would you believe me? Okay, so S-rank all tasks is a bit more difficult with Mrs. Snipey 2 here. She doesn't fall for the supplies trick.
The enemy sniper just disappeared.
I have
Zero
heard
visibility.
unconfirmed
If you can't mark her, you don't
rumors
stand a
that
chance.
you can you can distract her at the last second. Son of a bitch, see what I mean? I love you too,
Boss,
little
come
kitty
in.
cat. I love you too, little kitty cat.
Boss!
Restarts don't count. I love you too, Katie. I love you too. He's being a little sweetheart right now. I love you too, kitty cat. So,
Boss, you okay? that sniper. Quiet.
Quiet. Our silent assassin. Where's the sniping point?
So since she no longer falls for the supply drop trick in Extreme, instead you have to firearms against her, don't use lethal weapons against her, like those are the mission tasks. Fall in love with her, dream about her at night, something like that. I can't remember the mission tasks, but you know, that's the general gist of them or whatever. So the best way to, I've heard unconfirmed rumors that you can somehow or another distract her, and then she'll still fall for the supply drop trick, even on Extreme, but I've never personally gotten it to work. Sometimes it doesn't count if you use the rocket tube punch. Get this power in between us. There we go. Sometimes the rocket punch works, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they allow you to throw grenades, sometimes they don't. It's really, like, it's a complete toss-up, and I don't know why it's so inconsistent, but every time I've tried, it always is. So, the way that I found that is ultimately consistent and always works exactly as, like, it always does exactly what it says on the tin. That methodology is just going up and giving her a subscription to your OnlyHands, man. That's how it works. That's how it happens. That's what you do. It's up there. Somewhere. Son of a bitch. I gotta get behind something. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright, here we go. Son of a bitch. Let's make our way over there while we, nice and slow while we recover. So, as I was saying with Extreme Trader's Caravan, you can, the skulls will allow you to you can knock out the skulls with sleeping gas grenades before you even initiate combat. That is completely within your capabilities. I had only seen a YouTube video about it. I had never actually tried it myself, but sure enough, it was easy peasy. It took a while to sort of get all the, factors in order for it to work, but it did eventually work. Come on, 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 son of a bitch. Did you see that? She got up on that rock and I couldn't, like, hold down the action button, do whatever I want. Like, the game was not letting me get up there with her. I love this movement system. Come on, come on. I can get the last one. Come on, come on, come on. Is that it? Dude, you've got to be kidding me. How is that not it? You're kidding me. Are you back on the cliff? To my right. look, she's cold. Barely showing up on infrared. Can you imagine how chilly she is? By the way, she is in Sniper Wolf's outfit from Metal Gear Solid 1. Those of you who purchased the Master Collection, you'll be enjoying that relatively soon, most likely. Alright, that's it.
Did you get her? With those abilities of hers. No doubt about it. She has to be one of the Skulls. Now move in and finish your boss. She's working for Cypher.
Quiet is a valuable source of information, boss. There's no need to kill her. Think carefully.
The female sniper. Quiet. Cypher's assassin. Finish her.
By the way, Boss takes this damn gun out of nowhere, man.
Killing her would be a waste.
That's a lethal handgun. He just pulls it straight out of his ass for this cutscene. It's like, where'd he get that? I have a submachine gun. Like, if this was the gun that he was using, her gun, then that would make sense. Also, I think he does it for cutscenes too. Like, he'll whip out, like, the base model rifle for some cutscenes, which is always pretty cool. I think she loses that outfit for the upcoming cutscenes. At some point in time, she's back to looking like she normally is.
We don't even know the extent of her abilities.
But
She's
again,
setting foot on
Trader's
space.
Caravan.
Good word, boss.
Before you've
Took her down
begun
alive.
combat
Now bring her back
with
here.
these with the
Let's find out what
skulls,
she really is.
you can just use sleeping gas grenades
Don't bring her to our home.
and slowly deplete
the
their
boss's
stamina
decision.
until they
I'll
fall
send the
asleep,
extraction chopper.
and that defeats them.
You know I've always got your back.
It's tough to run up and grab them before they disappear, because once you take down all four of them, of course, they, not too long after, they stand up. So they'll stand back up and then jump into, I don't know, low orbit or something, I don't know, they just disappear.
Departing.
There's good old Stephanie Houston, the actor and model. She's also in some other game that came out rather recently. It was one of the latest and most up-to-date what the hell is it called? Story time reviews or whatever on one of the explained videos.
Shame. She's one of a kind.
Voiced by Internet Historian on his Story Time YouTube channel, or whatever the hell it is.
We need to talk. Get back to base. Everything else can wait.
So like I said, I'm pretty sure that she's back out of that uniform for the preceding cutscenes. Don't hit her with non-lethal weapons. Don't hit her with firearms attacks. See? So there's your S-rank all task for that mission. But yeah, before combat starts with the mist unit, they will kind of stumble in your direction very, very slowly. If you've ever played Alien Isolation, apparently Alien Isolation has this thing where the alien in Alien Isolation has two AIs, one that knows where you are and one that doesn't. And the first one will give hints to the second one to help them find you. That's what I heard anyways. Help him or her. It doesn't matter, I don't think. It's an alien.
Confirmed.
So,
Steady at 0.4 miles.
believe it or not, if you didn't bring D-Dog on that mission, he won't be in the front seat.
Roger. We'll shake
So it's weird because, you know, Venom Snake, his outfit carries over. And D-Dog is there. That lethal handgun that Venom Snake whips out, like, that thing comes out of nowhere. But Stephanie Jewson will get butt-ass naked again, you know? It's weird. Also, I don't know if flares are a very common thing for helicopters to have.
Another one.
Like I said, I don't know. So don't, like...
Hold on.
I've never been in a helicopter in my entire life. Not in the Navy, not with Army Senior Reserve Officer Training Corps, as if that's going to be common. Nowhere. I've never been in one. So I have no idea whether or not it's a very common thing, but I don't think it is. See, I told you. Takes her clothes off again. See, check it out. She's in her, you know, old outfit or whatever. And at the end of Cloaked in Silence, the regular mission, you're back at base, of course, because that's how the cutscene ends. But at the end of Extreme Cloaked in Silence, it is acknowledged to be like sort of a flashback or whatever. So you're back at the aerial command center. See? It's weird. It's weird. You know what Kojima and Konami Incorporated, what they cared about. Incorporated? Registered trademark? I'm not sure. But what Kojima and Konami cared about for that particular cutscene is it's kind of wishy-washy. Very strange to me. The Casio watch that Venom Snake is wearing is something that you can actually purchase in real life. I think during the purchase process, you have to promise to start a private military company. That's just a rumor, though. I'm not quite sure. I've never attempted. It's all for you. So again, skulls before you initiate combat, whether it's the mist units in Mission 1 or the armor unit, I guess, in Trader's Caravan, before you've initiated combat, because combat's already initiated at the end of Mission 6, where the beasts sleep or whatever, and it's already initiated in Code Talker or whatever. Mission 29, was it? But before combat is initiated with those two variants of the skulls, they will stumble in your direction. So if you're attempting to hide from them in Mission 1, the two on the left will stumble in a general, like, toward the other cliff direction. But if you hide on the right side of the bridge, like underneath the bridge, both the ones on the right will start to stumble towards you off the bridge to the right. And they'll try to go under the bridge towards you very, very slowly. And you can, theoretically, get across the bridge, avoiding both sides entirely. However, I've never been able to successfully do it. The only way that I can do it is to bait them both in a diagonal direction to the left. And then, whenever two of them are on the bridge and the two are on the left side, whenever that sequence of events happens, that's whenever it's pretty good. It's all pretty good. That's what. Let me see. We can go ahead and do this since we haven't. Over the fence. Metallic Archaea. That's what the mission's called. Over the fence. Captive engineer. Through the hole. Prisoner. 4-wheel drive. And blueprint. That's fine. Well, I don't need a vehicle. This mission's very forgiving with its S-rank strats. Let me try this. This is always fun. Play with this because it is a blasty blast. Now there are items, yes. They are items. Noctocyanin, Acceleramin. I don't need desert as well as whatever. Parasite Mist. So chickadee check this shit out. How many do I have? 8? 6? And it only uses 2. So each one is 3. Okay. It's fine by me. But yeah, play with this. This is fun. The mist unit, the mist parasites is a portable sandstorm, but it doesn't reduce your rank for the mission down below an S rank. It is beautiful, and it is nearly essential for a quiet exit. It is a gorgeous thing. There's like a gnat or something that's flying around in my room.
Boss, the Soviet engineer is being held prisoner at the Waksin barracks. You need to find him and get him out.
So there's one particular video that shows Trader's Caravan where they didn't initiate combat with the skulls at all. They just got to the target truck for Trader's Caravan. They went to the target truck, and then after they got to the target truck, they just went ahead and the skulls appeared in the cutscene, and then after that, you know, I'm not gonna take out that bear right now. Just too big of a pain in the butt. I'll draw attention to myself. Forget all that. We're here for an S rank. We're here for a good time, not for a long time. That's what I call my moving sniper shots. While it may be almost objectively impossible to pull off in real life, that doesn't really matter. What matters is that you can pull it off in video games. And my favorite video game to pull it off on is Unreal Tournament Game of the Year Edition for the PC and Nokia N-Gage.
That's the Waksin
Oh, I don't think it was on the
target is
Nokia.
somewhere inside that outpost.
But maybe.
The Soviets consider him a traitor now, so he'll be treated like any other prisoner.
I don't know whether or not the vehicle that moves between outposts is here yet. I might be moving too fast. Oh, it's here. Okay. This guy never has a helmet on. Oh, they're doing my job for me. Is it easy or is it peasy?
Spit it out.
You decide.
Where are the others?
Alright. Remember what I said? It's a portable sandstorm. It's so beautiful. Look at this. It reduces the visibility down, I think, more than the sandstorm does. It's such a gorgeous thing. You can hear the footsteps, but you can't do anything about it. Look at that. Really?
Damn it!
That was
Mission's
odd.
a failure.
That was odd. That was very rare. I don't think I've ever had that happen to me. And I totally forgot that it's total stealth. But whatever. You develop a Dark Souls attitude to death in video games eventually. Like, it's not a big deal, it's just like a learning experience.
Now they're holding him at Mgsv. He's offered his technical skills to us as long as we can guarantee
So now,
his safety.
I'm going to draw attention to myself. That's going to make things a little bit easier. I know that that sounds like it's not going to make things a little bit easier because then the snipers will be on the loose because they're definitely going to be here for a total stealth mission. But it's okie dokie. I don't know whether or not I managed to film total stealth footprints of phantoms, but it's easy peasy. It's just footprints of phantoms. I run it the exact same way that I do it any other time. So in an effort to draw attention to myself, loud gunfire is always a good way to do that. Get knocked out, scrub. I don't have time for noobs. Wow. These two jokers weren't even... Well, okay, never mind. I am standing in the middle of the road, big boy. I was about to say, I thought that that those two jokers didn't hear me blasting that bear up there. I thought that it was only the guard post over yonder that heard me.
Where are your friends?
You gotta extract him.
I got now a guard at the front gate. Which goes against protocol.
That's the Mgsv.
Boys, it's supposed to be a bouncer here.
Inside that outpost. The
What is
Soviets
this?
consider him a traitor now, so he'll be treated like any other prisoner.
I don't know, maybe protocol is different for the Russian army. Ah, okay, and let's go ahead and location unknown. It sounds like a mounted machine gun because it was a mounted machine gun. What the flippity flop are you talking about? Pardon my language. You're in a riot suit,
Find a
aren't
target
you?
in the Mgsv barracks and get
Yeah.
him out alive.
He's in a riot suit and a bunker. I think he's compensating for something. Oh man.
Get down. out.
I don't like holdups. Holdups
Great.
don't give you that many
Take a look. I hope he's all
extra
right.
points.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
What you doing, kitty cat, huh? Rubbing up against my leg being sweet.
Where are the others?
You gotta extract him.
Don't talk. Where are your friends?
This is where we turn good into great and go ahead and... Are you in a riot suit? Yeah, you're in a riot suit.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Come on. Good shot. There we go.
Spit it
I'm
out.
gonna end up taking this whole entire base.
Heads up.
So there's this YouTube video where I think the guy shows several ways of taking out the skulls. And in Trader's Caravan, he doesn't take them out at all. He just goes directly to the spot where they have, where the target is, the target truck.
Where are your friends?
And after going to that spot, like,
He's coming too. Roger that.
he slowly but surely lures them to the left after the cutscene when they appear. By the way, if you haven't like gotten the interpreter yet, for example, you can get the prisoner location from here.
You got an intel file. Unfortunately, there's nothing new in it.
Hell yeah. Missed part 2.
Speak. Where are your friends?
You gotta extract him.
Spit it out. Where are the others?
For a guy in the YouTube video, he leads them to the left, and then after they go to the left, he just like sneaks around them.
Subject
It's
on
pretty
board.
neat. He gets by without ever initiating combat at all. And so to try that out for Extreme Trader's Caravan, I didn't initiate combat. Eventually, after I lost 500 times, I just went ahead and started throwing sleep grenades at him while hiding, and eventually asking for more sleep grenades whenever I
He's coming too.
ran out of sleep
Roger
grenades.
that.
It will clear shortly. Got him. Miss number 3. That's all I wanted. about that.
Don't talk.
Nobody likes snipers.
Where are the others?
Time for you to take a nap. Do-do-do-do-do.
Hands up.
You gotta extract him.
Where are your
Look how
friends?
great this is. This is so great, isn't it?
Where are the others?
Just waltz on in here, do whatever you want.
Roger that.
It's a portable sandstorm that does not lower your score. It's so great. I can do whatever the flippity flop I want, and they can't do anything about it. Like, it's nearly cheating. It's almost cheating. There goes radio, even though I already took out everything else. More mist. Let's collect more of these guys. Like Pokemon, right?
Hands up. Spit it out.
I had no idea. I had no idea. Like, for the longest time, I probably had like 2,000 to 5,000 hours in this game, without exaggeration. 2,000 to 5,000 hours before I discovered what the hell the mist does. Like, after I saw the YouTube video showing what it does, I was like, holy shit, that's what it does? That's fucking fantastic. And then I tried it out. And it didn't lower my score below an S rank, and I was like, that's crazy, that's fantastic. This is the best thing ever. It's so much better than anything else.
He's coming too. Roger that.
At 17 meters away, he had no clue where I was.
You've entered a building.
He was staring
Always
right at
keep an
me.
escape route in mind when you head indoors. If you get surrounded, you'll have nowhere to run. You gotta extract him.
I get to leisurely get the... that. 3 more tasks. We'll get out this goober, and we'll get out our target through the roof. By the way, our target, he talks a lot of stuff. He talks about, if you have the Russian language interpreter still or whatever, he talks about, he gives you a clue for Mission 6. He says that he's a bionic arms developer, that you're wearing one of his creations, his bionic arms that he has created, that he's developed thousands of countless prosthetics for the Soviet Union, but the Soviet Union wants him to work on giant did that count? I think that counts. Come on, tell me that counts. There it is, yep.
Now that's some lateral thinking. Flawless work. You never cease to amaze, boss. Target extraction confirmed.
I'm gonna disappear before this guy comes around the corner. Yes! This is the best! This is the best, little kitty cat! You not fear death, Jack Sparrow.
Mission complete, and how? They're gonna tell stories about this one, boss.
That's your S-rank all tasks. That's all it takes.
The engineer we rescued has been extreme.
But he says that the Kremlin had him. I love you too, kitty cat. I love you too, kitty cat. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, little kitty. I love you too, pretty kitty. What you that man? Don't you try to scratch me, punk. He says that the Kremlin has them, or the powers that be, or whatever, has them working on giant mechanical arms for robots. And he says, you know, all of his genius and brilliance and whatever is going one way, and the powers that be are telling him to work on wind-up toys. That's the way he describes everything. Doing S-rank all tasks with extraordinary. I think it's theoretically possible, but I don't know anybody who's ever been able to do it. So extraordinary is something that we're going to have to do twice, but that's okay. We'll all be able to adjust in our lives. So he gives you that clue for mission 6, because mission 6, during the cutscene with Skullface, who's he got running around? He's running around with Sahelanthropus. I don't know, what was the last thing that that you were actually here for, because since the last broadcast messed up, like, and didn't broadcast the way that it was supposed to. Since that is the case, since that happened, I'm not sure if you're all up to speed on the story to this point. So we had some story-specific side missions, and I don't know whether or not you were able to see those. So one side mission had me go down to the central base camp and collect the haunted antigen machine, the AI pod from Lake Kosipolka or whatever. So we got that from the central base camp, and Ocelot and gang, they found a corpse in it, and it was the corpse of Dr. Strangelove. The AI pod is from Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, and so is Dr. Strangelove. So I don't know whether or not you were able to see that part, but that happened. Then we were called back to Yaku Obo Supply Outpost, even though we had already done a side mission there during that particular run in the wilderness. And there is where we came across the Man on Fire's body, which is somehow or another, I think it was being transported by Soviet troops. I think that was the big deal or whatever. Yeah, we'll do it this way. Yeah. I don't need that, because we're out in the wilderness. We're gonna make it through. I never knew how lost I was until I found you. So the Man on Fire's body was being transported from A to B by some Russian peeps that were going to do some tests on him and whatnot and see what the hell is going on with him. And so we go down to the Waco Bullet Supply Outpost to grab it before they're able to get it to its final destination. And we take down all the people at the Yaku Supply Outpost, and there he is lying there. And it turns out that it's the body of the main bad guy from Metal Gear Solid 3. Those of you who have recently purchased the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection are going to be very familiar with Metal Gear Solid 3. The main bad from that story was a man named Volgan, and while he wasn't the final boss, he was the main bad. So yeah, that was the body of Volgan this entire time, which is something that I knew instantaneously, the very microsecond that I laid eyes on him. And in Mission 0, whenever I'm escaping the hospital.
Be careful down there, boss.
Oh boy. So, so we go to the body. We start to extract it with an old-fashioned Fulton in a cutscene instead of the wormhole Fulton we've been using. And then after all that's said and done, he bursts into flames, turns into his Man on Fire form, begins to approach us, grabs us, turns into his old form, his living self, and then while looking, Venom Snake beats into his eyes.
Locate and secure them.
After looking deep into the eyes of Venom Snake, he looks confused and then steps off and dies. For good this time. And the reason that he ceases his assault smack dab in the middle of it is because he looks directly into Venom Snake's eyes. During the events of Metal Gear Solid 3, during a torture sequence, Volgan looks directly into the eyes of Naked Snake, Big Boss, and he says, very specifically, he orders the boss, which is the final boss of that particular game, I guess. But he orders the boss officially at that point in time, as far as he's concerned, a person that's under his chain of command. He orders her to cut out his eyes. I don't like those blue eyes of his.
Okay, subject is in.
Okay. Now, where's the next one? I don't know what that was. So we got Smase, Fort, and the Morhate Palace. I am fucking leagues away from both of them. Leagues. I think this would be the easiest place to hit. No, let's just go for a jog. I could steal the car that's over yonder, but I don't know. Half the time I don't think it's like even any faster, because walking you can kind of go up and over things. Nothing's gonna be faster than a horse until you get the riding costume, but It's whatever. Anyhow. So, the Volgan gets really close to Naked Snake Big Boss and says, you know, he tells the boss, cut out his eyes. I don't like those blue eyes of his. And that part is important. You know, it's almost like Kojima planned it all, or whatever, but whatever. But no, he obviously didn't. Way back in the PlayStation 2 era, for this to pop up in the PlayStation 3/4 era. But Venom Snake has green eyes. Now, what would cause the color of Venom Snake's eyes to be different than Naked Snake's eyes or Big Boss's eyes? Many, many possibilities. Do you know that nanomachines actually change the color of your eyes? Did you know that? That's real. That's something that happens here in real life. The place that we unfortunately occupy. You know, so that's one thing. The one thing is, of course, that nanomachines do in fact change the color of your eye. They eventually, like, if you don't get them like replenished or something, I think they, like, the batteries die or whatever, they eventually get flushed out of your system normally. You see, my aunt, my oldest aunt, she, believe it or not, she was like, I know this sounds like a ridiculous and incredible story that's very, very Metal Gear, but it's true. My oldest aunt, she was wheelchair bound. She had an extreme form of muscular dystrophy that really that confined her to a wheelchair. It was a bunch of nonsense, and she couldn't walk. She was whatever, but she was dating somebody who was doing some sort of scientific gobbledygook, and because she was dating that guy, like, he was into nanomachine technology, he said, you know, hey, if you want to give it a shot, like, that's something that I can arrange. And she said, sure, like, I would try anything at this point. And wouldn't you know it, like, she gets injected with nanomachines, and pretty soon they are able to, she's able to stand, she's able to walk, dance, prance, do karate, all of the above, you know.
Where are your friends?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
I didn't want to have to do this, boys. You brought this upon yourselves.
Spit it out. Where are your friends?
You couldn't mind your own beeswax. And now I'm going to have to steal your entire base.
Where are you?
He's coming too. Roger that. He's coming too. Roger that.
This ought to cut out his eyes. Now you're less able to see. Lol. Yeah, what the heck, right? I'm getting headshots like I'm on a mission. I don't need to do that.
Where are the others?
So nanomachines, that's one thing.
Where are your friends?
My oldest aunt is able to walk, talk, dance, and prance to this very day. Her boyfriend that did all that for her, though, I think he's in jail. It's like he wasn't authorized to do like human experimentation or something like that. I don't know what the hell the story was. I never met the guy. Golden says, cut out his eyes. I don't like those beautiful, sexy, gorgeous, seductive blue eyes of his. Logan says, why don't you come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth? I'm feeling romantical. Don't believe me? Read the script.
Subject
Read
on
the script
board.
from Metal Gear Solid
Leave the
3.
rest to us.
Metal Gear Solid 3 was like part of it was a parody of James Bond. David Hayter said that the the voice actor for all the snakes before this one. David Hayter said that the scene where he has to seduce Baldwin made him very uncomfortable. Especially since they like had him in the same booth. And Kojima was insistent on like not just voice acting but also mocapping. He was like, if you care about this job, David, you'll kiss this man. And Mr. Hater was like, he wasn't having it. He was very, but he's a professional, so he did.
Speak.
Don't believe me?
Where are your friends?
Stick your finger. And yours. Okay, so.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Where are the others?
No sign of hostage. He must be too far away. Can't hear the, couldn't hear the gunshot. Should be it. And now we wait. Yep.
Don't spit it out. Where are the others?
I collect all these goobers and gremlins. A paparga.
He's coming too. Roger that.
I think the man over my head that just woke up. I think that's what's going on. Yep, see? Those gamer instincts.
Spit it out. Where are your friends?
Nanomachines is one reason why he could have an eye color change. Also, remember that he was supposed to have a surgery in the first, you know, in you know, Mission Zero, right? Escaping the hospital. Did he manage to get that surgery? I don't know. Remember, like, Code Talker seems to be able to do two things. It looks like Code Talker has, like, those eyes that make it seem like he's blind, right?
He's coming too.
But
Roger
also, he's demonstrated multiple times that he can see. And here's another thing to stick in your pipe and smoke it. Just chew on this information. This is very Python Selkin of me to point this out, which I have, again, infinite respect for. Even though I didn't like the way that they said a certain thing. Doesn't matter. So I have infinite respect for them. They're still better than me in every way, and I love them. I think that they are much closer to the truth than almost any of us, including possibly even Kojima himself. Remember that Kojima hired an entire person for like several game titles whose job description was, and I quote, setting justification. Like, this isn't that uncommon. Orson Scott Card, you know, the Ender's Game guy. Orson Scott Card had to be reminded for his prequel series that at some point in time, Major whatever, the guy who ultimately trained Ender during his like final phase of training in the book, Major General whoever, he had been disgraced by his commanders at some point in time, and Orson Scott Card had built up this particular person to be a very by the books human being. So him getting disgraced would obviously have had happened at some point in time, but it was one of his readers that had to remind him. And he's like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that I wrote that down about this guy in Ender's Game way back when, and now I'm writing a prequel. And so he had to like rewrite that into the whole thing. And he, you know, did a little setting justification, right? So again, like I said, I very much respect Python and Selkin, and I think that they are much closer to the truth than almost any of us, which might even include Hideo Kojima himself.
According to the intel team, the escaped kids should be around here. Locate and secure them.
Is that a sniper up there? No, these aren't snipers. These are escaped puppets. I forgot. Let's grab some stuff over here. Why not? So this is very Python Selkin of me to point this out, but it's something that you can chew on for a bit. Do you know did you know how, remember how, at the end of that cutscene after the Skullface mission, you know how, Kazuhira said, like, from now on, you'll be my eyes? So he said, from now on, you'll be my eyes. Removed his glasses. Remember, whenever we first got him back in Mission 1, Venom Snake said, did they do something to your eyes? And he says, no, it's just bright as all. And Snake hands him his sunglasses back. So that's that, you know, right? Wrong. Stupid. Are you even paying attention? No. So the whole thing is, he says, from now on, you'll be my eyes. But he also demonstrated that not only can he see, but he can see Quiet when she's invisible. Remember that cutscene? Like, Quiet is clearly invisible, and she's standing by the helicopter. Then Quiet, you might think, well, maybe he just senses Quiet or whatever. He doesn't actually see. But then Ocelot gives her his revolver. And then she points Ocelot's revolver up at the helicopter blades. Then Miller tries to stop this whole sequence of events by saying, hey, that's really expensive. What the fuck, do you think he's like, you know, he's talking about a watch or something? Like, is he just talking about something else entirely? No. He's very clearly talking about the events that are happening right in front of him. Later on in a sequence which I don't know whether or not you were there to see, there's a sequence where where the kids are all gathered around a chlorine disinfectant pool, because Liquid Snake threw Shabani's necklace that we got in that one mission. I can't remember what the hell it's called right now, but the one at Inzuya Badiagulu. Liquid Snake went ahead and do we have visitors? Is that why there was a music sting and growling? Our patrolman about to pull up. On this day, succeeded where other men have failed. So he's very clearly and obviously demonstrating that he can in fact see. During that chlorine disinfectant scene, Quiet jumps into the chlorine disinfectant. And he says, you know, what was she thinking pulling a stunt like that? Was she trying to panic us? He's desperately trying to ascribe a negative motive for her actions because he thinks that Cypher's the enemy no matter what. And so, since she works with Cypher, or rather worked with Cypher, she must be doing something wrong. She must be doing something that is evil or has alternative motives in some way, shape, or form, right? So that's the conclusion that he comes to. That's the sequence of events and everything. But what does he mean? Why did she pull that stunt? Like, he very clearly, obviously can see. He implies that he can't whenever he says, "You'll be my eyes." Takes off his sunglasses to show everybody that, the way that his eyes look. But Code Talker, his eyes look the exact same way. So what does he say about his eyes? He says that his longevity, he's lived over 100 years. He says that his longevity is due to the parasites. He says that, the lack of macular degeneration in his old age is due to his parasites. So he blames everything on his parasite therapy and infecting himself on purpose. So his eyes look that way because of parasites, not because he's blind. Now, how do we know that that Code Talker is not blind? What is our definitive proof? What is our smoking gun? Because you can make a case for a lot of different things, but there is a certain point in time where there is a smoking gun that you cannot deny. So what is that? What is that point?
Subject on board.
It's in the
The rest
tapes.
to us.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Boss, what happened? Boss!
Whatever. I think all the progress is saved, the side quest is done, etc., etc. Yeah, this Mgsv Le Mans is whatever. I think, I'm hoping that even on top of everything else, not only has my progress been saved, but also the men that I extracted before I took that tumble are still extracted. Because that save point hits. That save point hits the moment that that save point hits the moment that you the moment that you get done with a side quest, or a side mission. So I think that's saved and then pushed to anybody else. So everybody from Yakuobo that I captured, even though now it's back in working order, all the stuff that I captured from Yakuobo, all of the stuff I captured in the Mgsv Le Mans, I think all of that was properly saved.
The intel team, the escaped kids should be around here. Locate and secure them.
On the ground. Spit it out. Where are the others?
You gotta extract him.
Shrink Dart and time. It's the only thing that you really need in this game. In any of the games after Metal Gear Solid 2. Including Metal Gear Solid 2.
on board. Leave the rest to us.
So the smoking gun that makes us absolutely know beyond any shadow of a doubt that Code Talker can see, that smoking gun happens to be in the tapes. The joke tapes, the tapes that are all just for laughs, the hamburgers of Kazuhira Miller. Those tapes, even they, have storyline importance. Because whenever Kazuhira Miller finally comes up with his masterpiece, the Chemical Burger,
Subject on board.
Code Talker
Leave the rest to us.
initially refuses to even taste it because, and I quote, that color. Code Talker talks about the color of the burger. There is no case to be made. You cannot possibly say that he somehow or another sensed the color of the burger. You can make the case that that was just a mistake or something like that, but that's not Kojima. Kojima's not perfect. Kojima's far from perfect. Play like Police Knots, or even watch like a breakdown of Police Knots. You don't have to play it. I've never played it. But look at Police Knots and the flippant way that that Kojima writes his women. Remember, like, Metal Gear Solid 4 was like a PlayStation 3 launch title or something like that, and even then, he's still allowing you to use the 6-axis control to make Rose's boobs bounce by moving the controller around. Like, he treats women very, very flippantly in the vast majority of his games. He made up an entire storyline, whatever, in order to justify stripping Stephanie Houston almost completely nude. In addition to all of that, the Beauty and the Beast unit from Metal Gear Solid 4, they were actually filmed totally 100% in the nude. Then Sony pulled the plug on this entire operation, thinking that it could be a step too far. Which almost doesn't make any sense either. That's just the official story that we got, because during the PlayStation 2 era, God of War showed tits. And in fact, there's a lot of games that were released to an international audience that shows tits. So it's kind of weird that they would consider tits and vagina to be where they draw the line. So it's also like, there's a possibility that someone's not being entirely truthful with everything.
You gotta extract him.
And mayhaps Mr. Kojima and team just wanted to see 4 supermodels in the nude and have them crawl around and dance for them for their motion capture for their PlayStation 3 launch title. You know, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
Я не хочу умирать! Spit it out. Where are the others?
subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Всем боевым группам, это кафе. Вышел из строя целый ряд ламп. Похоже на проблемы с электроэнергией. Ближайший патруль. Проверить сеть, кстати.
Spit it out. Where are your friends?
У нас проблема. По всем постам. You gotta extract him.
Where are your friends?
So,
Where are your friends?
Code Talker can see,
Subject on board.
even though his eyes seem to indicate that he might be blind. He says that he can see because of nanomachines, because of Hero Miller. He has demonstrated that he can see multiple times in multiple cutscenes, narrations, and everything like that. Like I said, you can chalk these things up like, oh my goodness, it's just it's not that deep. It's just a cassette tape in the game and everything. Like very clearly, like the developers can make mistakes, dude. It's not that deep, but like that's not the way that Kojima and Co. work. They're very much focused on attention to detail, and very, very tiny details can get brought up like years upon years upon years later. One of the revelations that are a part of this game is a very tiny detail, a small retcon that gets justified like, I don't know, 30 years after it was originally introduced, something like that. It's ridiculous, like, how long they, Kojima and company, will hold on to a very, very tiny detail and then elaborate on it all these years later. I pointed something out. I pointed out, where the hell does Venom Snake get that lethal gun that he whips out for the Quiet mission? Where the hell did he get that gun? I don't know, but I don't think that flares are actually standard issue with helicopters. So that is a possible mistake. I'm not entirely sure, but that's a possible, like, attention to detail type mistake.
Report for you here. We've discovered a radiation leak in the laboratory on the
Fucking
quarantine
bitch.
platform. It's coming from testing equipment we installed the other day. Members of the medical team have been conducting research there, but we'll evacuate them all from the research block to the containment block next to it. Emmerich.
There's no need to worry. No radioactive material is leaked, so the contamination won't spread. We just...
I don't like this. My men are in danger, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's better that they're alive and somewhere else than dead and with us. This is the only way to keep them safe. You'll understand here in a bit. I forgot that this is what triggers the next phase. You'll understand what I'm talking about in a bit. Call me a helicopter parent, I don't care. The name of the game here, this entire challenge run, is based off of one thing and one thing only. To do war without casualties. And while it's impossible, that's the point. Holy shit, this is gonna take all day. We only have to do it until the next mission. The next big mission. But, one thing that I know you weren't here for is, what we're doing now. Why are we rescuing children? Why are they storyline specific? The children got out. That's why. The children got out. Malak, angel to his fellow Mujahideen. I thought he was going to give up that name. He says so at the end of that mission. Guess he doesn't. Mosquito keeps his name, but that's besides the point. Like that's obviously not his birth name. Nobody gave him that name, right? So the children got out. They escaped. They stowed onto helicopters and stuff like that. Why did they do all that? Well, that's something that's storyline related. So anyway, while you are chewing on that information that, hey, you know, Code Talker and Miller have both have the same look to their eyes. The reason that Code Talker's eyes look like that is because he's been exposed to parasite therapy. We know that Quiet has been exposed to parasite therapy, which is why she breathes through her skin and absorbs moisture and water from the air, same as the Skulls unit does, though she doesn't seem to be as far gone, as churned into a weapon as they are. So we know all that. We know all that part. That's all very much very cool backstory. We're all caught up. I bet Hideo isn't going to let us get rid of them. This is hurting my hands. So while you're chewing on that information that Quiet has received parasite therapy, Code Talker has received parasite therapy, due to the particular parasite therapy, remember that parasite therapy is not ubiquitous. It doesn't always have the exact same effect no matter who you are, and we know that because of the skulls. Some of them have mist capabilities, Some of them have armor capabilities. Some of them have capabilities that makes them very, very similar to Quiet. The reason that Quiet walks around without much in the way of clothing is because she breathes through her skin, stuff like that. The male people with parasite therapy, I guess they just get to skip that step. I don't know. But Ocelot and Miller aren't going to let us fire them. So, Code Talker can see, Miller can see. He's only implied that he is blind. He never specifically said so, and he demonstrated that he wasn't several times. So has Code Talker. They both look, their eyes look the same way. So perhaps Miller has undergone some sort of parasite therapy, which seems to have happened whenever he was captured after being attacked by the Mist unit, the Skulls. So all of that seems to have happened afterwards. He might have lost an arm and a leg after that attack, but also on top of everything else, everything that happened to his eyes seems to have happened after that whole thing as well. So while you're chewing on that information, because it's very Python and Silicon of me to even point that out, but also, like, it's very clearly a contradiction of a lot of different things that's going on in the game that is, however, canonical. We just don't know what they mean by their canonicity at this moment. Holy moly, it's taking forever. But while you're chewing on that information, the reason that we're hunting down kids is because they stowed away on all sorts of different things to get back to the battlefield in one way, shape, form, or another. And they all, to a man, ended up helpless. They don't have the capability of hunting and fishing and stuff like that. They may be able to hold a gun. That doesn't mean that they can properly hunt down an animal. They might be able to kill a man. So theoretically, they could be, cannibals, but that often, that can sometimes cause prion disease. Doesn't seem to be ubiquitous, though. There's a couple of examples. There's one particular acquitted murderer who ate human flesh. The Dahmer family, they live long lives. The entire crew that the Moby Dick story was based off of, the real life crew that did all that, they had a result of cannibalism, and while psychologically they were damaged, they didn't have prion disease. So they make it seem like cannibalism always results in prion disease. It's not true. It just happened in an African tribe and stuff like that. I'm not 100% on, like, the lore of cannibalism, so don't quote me too much. Like, if you do have a chance to eat another person in some place where it's not actually illegal to do so, I still don't recommend it. But you are what you eat, so eat more successful people. No, don't do that, please. Either way. How the fuck did I get on the subject of cannibalism and prion disease? I have no idea. My brain's completely fried from this repetitive process. But if it's what I gotta do to keep my men safe, so be it. Oh, because of the kids. The kids escaped. The kids escaped. And so we're hunting them down and getting them back to Mother Base because they all, to a man, have proven themselves to be bad hunters and unable to either return to the battlefield to be effective soldiers or to fend for themselves in any other way, shape, or form. So we're getting them back to Mother Base because they have failed to do all of this. Why did they do this? Why did they escape? Because of Liquid Snake. He's been doing a lot of stuff. One of the things, I'm not sure if you were there for the associated cutscene or the information itself, but there was a particular scene and whatnot that explains that a kid named Ralph died after a like a pipe on Mother Base fell on him, killing him, like crushing him. Which everything in Mother Base seems to be built incredibly sturdily. We've seen no evidence that that is not the case. So how would a pipe kill this one kid? It's also implied that this kid is it's also implied that this particular kid is the one that started talking about his parents to Liquid Snake during that one cutscene where Liquid Snake got all aggro and attacked one of the people at Mother Base. And Ocelot had to pull him off. And then push him to the ground. In a maneuver that's actually a Spear System startle flinch. May or may not wanted it to be that way, but that's what it was. I'm pressing the get out of this menu button. It's not working. I'm guessing all that happened because we just had a ton of people come out of imprisonment. Yeah. Of course. We're going to get him out of here. We're going to get him safe. Safely not employed at Diamond Dogs. There's an event in the game that's coming up very soon. You hear me pressing the button? It's not working. It's not going to work until after it saves. Convince 9 recruits to join. Yes, it does. It means that 9 more. There's 9 more. There's an event that's coming up that's called Shining Lights Even in Death. And it's an event that I'm preparing for in the moment right now. That's what I'm doing. As soon as Miller hit me with that little news update about what's going on, I knew that it's coming, and I'm trying to keep my men safe. It's an impossible task. We are in the middle of a war. But, yeah, I'm trying to keep my men safe.
Roger.
So, with Mother Base being an incredibly sturdy platform structure, primarily steel, stuff like that, it doesn't really make any sense that Ralph died because of a structural mishap, right? A pipe fell on his head. Doesn't make much sense. But we did see a certain, like after the Skullface mission, we did see a certain scene that seems to be that Liquid Snake is in possible contact with the floating boy.
We can't land.
He can't land because of the sandstorm. He can't land until the sandstorm goes away. But the floating boy was able to move an entire helicopter, and was also the sole reason that Sahelanthropus was able to move around. Sahelanthropus, which seemed to be listless in its mission for revenge, while it was under the control of Skullface. And then it seems that Skullface was unable to control Sahelanthropus during the events of Skullface, that mission. In fact, he even asked who is controlling Sahelanthropus. Screamed it, in fact. Yelled who is doing this. And was eventually incapacitated, leading to his death by stuff that Sahelanthropus was doing. Whenever he got pinned under that steel girder or whatever. So all of that happened, all those events happened. Remember all that? So it seems that the floating boy is capable of all that. And it seems like the floating boy is on Mother Base. And it seems like somebody else was in control of the floating boy. Which seems like perhaps it might have been Liquid Snake during the events of Skullface. And the subsequent mission Sahelanthropus. Alright, putting the pieces together. Just in case you haven't played this game. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I'll try to build the complicated story inside your own mind so that you can start to predict and figure things out yourself. Everything, 100% of it, all came to a surprise to me.
I have a quick report for you here. We've discovered a radiation leak in the laboratory on the quarantine platform. It's coming from testing equipment we installed the other day. Members of the medical team have been conducting research there, but we'll evacuate them all from the research block to the containment block next to it. Emmerich.
There's no need to worry. No radioactive material is leaked, so the contamination won't spread. We just need to seal off the testing equipment.
I've dispatched the security team to get the researchers out. I'll keep you updated.
I'm going to keep as many of my men safe as I possibly can. That's the only thing that I can promise. That's the only thing that I can promise. I'm going to do my best, and I know that I'm going to fail, but that's the point. This entire thing, yet again, this all comes from part of my training in the U.S. Army Senior Reserve Officer Training Corps. Part of that training was reading books and stuff like that that are on the Army recommended reading list, stuff like that. So that came as part of the training, right? So all of these books, almost to a man. There's one, I can't remember what the hell it was called. There's one, I think one was Beyond Duty. And there was another one, you know, of course, The Unforgiving Minute, A Soldier's Education by Craig Mullaney. I think the one Beyond Duty, it was about someone who was in the armor division. He was in the armor division, and he was at work in the war theater somewhere, guiding his men from hither to thither. As part of that entire process of guiding his men from here to there, he was to roll his division through a town, and in fact do a display of shock and awe to, you know, tear down some of the buildings and the like. And he played for hours in many different languages. He played tapes over the very, very loud speakers saying, we're going to attack this village, we're going to have to attack this village, we're going to attack this village, like, evacuate now, you will be killed, you will be destroyed if you do not evacuate, this is not a joke, this is the U.S. military, you've seen the path of destruction that we have wrought from hither to thither, this entire way. This is definitely us. You can look at your windows, you can see that our tanks are here, stuff like this. Like, all of these things are happening right now, all at once, and you need to leave, you need to go, you need to escape right here, right now. And that's essentially, in a nutshell, what the message stated over and over and over and over again. But guess what? Not everybody listened. This is a hell of a mission. It's not an emotional one, like Shining Lights Even in Death, but it's a hell of a mission nonetheless. It's a hell of a mission for a different reason. It's randomized, actually. I can't actually, with 100% certainty, tell you what's going on with it. I can't really, like, S-rank it on the first try every time. I can take a couple of guesses based on my experience, but otherwise, like, there might be a couple of retries on this mission.
Retrieve the film canister our informant hid in Spoogmay Keep before he died. It contains vital information on Skullface's plan. For now, our only clue is the garbled photograph the informant tried to send us before the end. We're working on analyzing the data, but there's no time to wait. A KGB Spetsnaz squad is after the target as well. Boss, go to Spoogmate Keep and use the VI to lead you to where the film canister is hidden. It is paramount you retrieve the target before the enemy does.
So like I said, I don't know anybody who do partial tasks. I'm sure it's theoretically possible to do S-rank all your tasks, I've just never seen it done. Because one of the biggest pieces of S-rank all tasks is finding this canister before doesn't matter. Let's just go. Son of a fucking bitch.
Boss, come in. Boss? Boss!
To find this canister before they receive reinforcements at Spoogmate Keep. And the canister is randomized. It's in one of several different places. The one thing that I haven't seen that probably needs to be a part of everything for this community is direct photographs. You know, actual comparisons between the photographs that we are shown as part of this mission and the actual, you know what, I think I might know where that is, and the actual locations themselves. Okay.
Be careful down there, boss.
I'm trying to do chores and stream and feed my cats, wet food. Rub my belly and pat my head at the same time. Look at this. Like, is this any faster? I think it's over here, maybe. Yes, it fucking is.
You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
Okay. Okay, okay, here we go.
Roger.
You know, if you start this mission on land, they put you even farther away. It's such anus. Like, there's no way to do this any faster. That's fucking pure luck. Like, you saw I even like fumbled around for a second or two, not knowing precisely where the canister could be. I'm sure the speedrunners out there, like, they probably have a system where they like check each and every one of the possible locations, like in rapid succession. And perhaps they know. Perhaps they can look at the garbled photograph and know precisely what it translates into. But to take a picture of the garbled photograph and then, like, give you the precise photograph, I don't think that that is something that anybody has archived anywhere. I've never been able to find it. It seems like it would be like a relatively easy thing to do, right? Like first, like take a picture of the garbled photograph, and then get far enough in the mission to unlock a picture of the real photograph, right? Seems like it'd be a relatively easy thing to do. What was today? Today was Healthy Maturity 7 Plus Pate Salmon and Chicken Formula, little kitty cat.
No enemy forces in
He's
pursuit.
acting like he doesn't
Mission
like it.
complete.
He might not. He likes people food much more. Salmon, canned chicken, strawberry daiquiris. Those are the three things that he really likes. Salmon, chicken, and tuna. So we rotate between those three things, which are not
Mission complete.
good for cats.
Wow. They're gonna tell
Sodium
stories about
levels.
this one, boss.
You know? It's prepared canned food, you know? Sodium levels. Gotta figure that out, right? But like I said, it seems like it'd be a relatively easy thing to do. To just take a picture of the garbled photograph, get far enough in the mission for that, for the real photograph to be shown, and then compare the two. And then just, you know, make a, for like extra spicy flavor.
Boss, I've updated the mission list. We received a new job offer. The details are on your iDroid.
So there's our S rank. We're gonna have to go back and do our all tasks. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get rid of our new staff. They need to be nice and safe and be employed anywhere else. Perhaps they will be more in danger somewhere else, but we know that at least some of them will be in danger if they stay here. Well, I know that. Whether or not you know that, it's none of my business, but I know that. Shining lights, even in death. It's a hell of an event that's coming up. Okay, so extraordinary. We've got extracted the prisoner, the Griffin Vulture, Smoke Makey. Okay, that's right. Yeah. The reason why it's never S rank all tasks is because you have to get that you have to get one of the this prisoner that's so far away from everywhere that it's ridiculous. It's at the Eastern Guard Post, number 24. I don't think I need that. No, you know what? It'll help. It'll help. So for extra credit, I think one of the things that you can definitely do for extra credit, I think, with this whole mess is after taking a picture of the blurred picture and then taking a picture of the real picture to see where it actually is, and then like zoom in as much as possible on the map, and then, you know, put a marker there so people know precisely where it is, and then take a picture of that. That would be like the ultimate breakdown of this mission for
Go to Spookmate Keep and use the VI to lead you to where the film canister is hidden.
I think I know what that is too.
You retrieve the target before the enemy does.
That'd be the ultimate breakdown of this mission for the layman. For the man who's not a speedrunner or something like that, doesn't automatically know where every single potential canister location could possibly be. That'd be the way that you could like guarantee a first-time player could get this mission done, lickety-split. See what I mean? That's one of the mission tasks, is to go all the way out here. Go all the way out here. Rescue this guy from inside this building, turn all the way back around, go all the way back to Mgsv Keep. I'll put him on the helicopter and I'll fucking care. I could rearrange my guys to redo, to re-enable Bolton. Fuck it, I'll take him with us. We'll do the whole thing with this guy. Welcome to Diamond Dogs. I'm immediately going to fire you after this is over. We gotta get our all tasks. Alright. Cash for the keep. Son of a bitch. That's 3 that are in riot suits. You motherfucker. He took cover before it could explode. See it? See the foam canister over there? Oh, that's right.
You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
Hands up.
Подожди! Не стреляй! Нет, не делай этого! Нет, не делай этого!
Hands up.
Подожди!
Okay. Vulture. That is not a vulture. But there is a vulture here in the neighborhood. You guys are all asleep. That's very good. I'm not asleep. I held up.
Hands up.
Подожди.
Okay, so in order to get this vulture out of here, I am going to have to rearrange my remaining guys. Someone's got to be in the support unit. Medicine, that might be where you excel, but that's it. Code Talker is really bad at support. Okay, extracted prisoner, extraction, prison culture, whatever. Okay. Oh no. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. Alright, we are Audi 5000. So that's our all tests. Like I said, I've never seen anybody do S-rank all tests. Never. Like maybe if you are just non-stop bombarding Smoognay with sleeping gas, stuff like that, maybe the whole thing becomes doable, but otherwise, I don't know.
Shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. On station at LZ.
People are shooting. Who are you? Why are you shooting? Go away.
All right, you're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete.
Warning.
Damn it.
Mission complete, and how?
And this
You're gonna tell
non-stop
stories about this one, boss.
onslaught of people joining Diamond Dogs. Since that is storyline essential, that mission, like, obviously that means that, like, a no-death run, as in, like, a run of this game that results in 0 deaths, is, of course, absolutely impossible. Even on the Diamond Dog side. It's a motherfucker of a mission. We do have some homework, so let's do this. Okay, the cat has wet food. It's a little cold in here, but it's alright. We dropped in temperature quite a bit last night, or just tonight. I tried to go to a food pantry. There's a food pantry in a nearby town, and it's not for people of this county. And I'm not about to fucking lie to get food. Like, it's for people who need it. And it's, you know, straight, like I'm 200 something pounds. Like, I'm going to be able to survive the winter, man. Build 10 cans. The purpose of doing so is very specific. The rain will hopefully wash them off. I'm keeping them in the first place because the third floor? I'm keeping them in the first place because metal's worth money. I can sell it to a scrapyard.
Oh, snake.
I captured another soldier off camera, and I
What is it, snake?
recaptured from some of the kids off camera too. It's whatever. They're all in different places. It's a little fun side
The
mission
Costa
distraction.
Rican sea. It is so beautiful. Costa Rica means rich coast. Please, please, get them out of my country. Then, what was I thinking of? It was, and then no, that is not right. But I am an angel of peace. I am a student. My head, it hurts.
Tara Strong is such a gorgeous person inside and out, very talented, very capable, very
Roger.
everything. She's a perfect human being. So, Dragon Ball Z. or whatever.
Arriving shortly at LZ.
There's the perfect life form. Prove me wrong, you can't, because obviously I'm right.
At LZ.
So earlier I was talking about Beyond Duty. An officer of the United States Army, I believe, comes across a town that he's supposed to roll through, disregarding buildings and everything, plays on the loudspeaker over and over and over again. He plays this warning that says, hey, this is the United States Army, you can look outside, look at us, yeah, we've wrought a lot of destruction, blah, blah, blah. Evacuate. Right now, we're not kidding, we're going to roll through your town. If you do not evacuate, you and your entire family will die, etc., etc. And they play that for hours, maybe even days. And then finally, after everybody feels like they've been thoroughly warned, and plenty of people have evacuated the town, him and his crew rolls on through. And wouldn't you know it, somebody didn't listen, and them and their entire family were flattened by the tanks. Their building got knocked down, they died. End of story. And the main character, these real events, this actually happened. But the main character in this tale, this officer in charge of this tank unit, was torn to shreds, drank after his time in service to try to cope. Him and his men, they killed a whole family, a whole innocent family. Yeah, they warned the absolute piss out of him, but still, like, it tore him apart. Like, that could have been his family. All he had to do was be born on different dirt. That was it. They didn't deserve that or whatever, but maybe you disagree because, you know, they didn't heed those warnings. Now, let's go for something a little bit different to remind you of something else that fits under these particular circumstances, okay? What happened towards the end of the war in the East in World War II? What happened? Do you remember? There are leaflets that we have historical record of. And those leaflets show that the United States military warned very, very thoroughly many potential bombing locations. They told the people of that day and age, they told all those people in no uncertain terms, in their own language, they told them that they are going to bomb these locations, and if you do not evacuate, you are going to die. Your entire family's going to die, etc., etc. You know, we're not joking. See these other towns that we have bombed as proof that we are definitely going to do this. We are capable of doing this, and we're going to do it again. And these are the possible locations this is going to take place. There's enough of those locations that we dropped these leaflets onto in Japan. There's enough of these locations that
Is that you? 9 years. 9 years.
One of the guys out on a mission at the time. He's fallen a long way from the glory days. But will he come back to us? Bring him home, boss.
that's how you get these guys out, nice and easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
What else we gotta do? We got at least one more, right? I have to immediately fire. I almost forgot. Desmasse Le Mans. Wandering soldiers. No, that's the Shago Clay. Desmasse Shago. Honest mistake. Okay, let's just yeah, let's Delta. Let's just start heading in that direction and that's the best. Do the easiest option. I am currently starting a fire. I have to get rid of my trash, and I live far enough out in the country that I have permission from the Environmental Protection Agency to burn my trash. They say specifically, especially with Illinois law, if you are over a certain distance away from your neighbors and outside of city limits, so that they don't have their own ordinances involving burning trash, you can burn your trash. Look it up yourself if you would like to, if you disagree. So yes, this whole thing went down, right? Like, you know, this guy, he flattened the family, it fucking tore him up and stuff like that. But these types of stories are very common. So again, let's go for Craig Mullaney, the Unforgiving Minute, A Soldier's Education. Craig Mullaney. What did Craig Mullaney do? Craig Mullaney, very, very similar. He was in charge of the most decorated platoon in the entire war theater during his time in service. There's a reason why he's on the Army Recommended Green List. There's a reason why he's so low on the Army Recommended Green List, as in like bottom of the page, as in like, or not like bottom at the top of the page, as in like one of the first things that they definitely want you to read if you are a member of the United States Army. Point period. So the reason behind all of this is very clear, it's very simple, because, you know, the man is a rock star in every way, shape, and form. But one of his like, I think it was one of his first engagements, if I am remembering it correctly, he had a single soldier pass on.
He's coming too.
It wasn't anybody's fault. And as part of all this, he didn't just pass on. It was very clearly like Craig Malini gave orders. The orders were followed, but for whatever reason, either the enemy did their job better than this kid who passed on, or the kid did something wrong, but nobody seems to corroborate that tale. It seems like there's nobody that was like, man, the kid did a stupid thing, he fucked up, and that's why he's dead. No one is saying that. No one ever said that. I've never heard that as a possible tale. Instead, it seems to be like very clearly like he followed orders, everything was okay, but he passed on anyways. It seems like nobody could have done anything about this. So, with all this in mind, Craig Malini still blamed himself. Drank himself half to death after his time in service. Had some time with post-traumatic stress disorder, stuff like that. Like the whole kit and caboodle. So, Craig Malini, he blamed himself for this for quite some time and everything, and even, like, after he left active duty service, and he had spent a great many years working up his courage to do so, Craig Malini even went to this soldier's parents and apologized, said that he was the commander in charge of their son, and he did the best that he possibly could, and it still wasn't enough. And, you know, it's his fault that their son is dead. And they completely disagreed. These people, whoever the hell he talked to, these people were enlightened. These people were incredible. Because they totally disagreed with him. I said, it's not your fucking fault. You know, it's in essence, it's not, I'm not quoting them. I said, it's not your fucking fault, you know. To paraphrase, what they said was, it's not your fault. It's not your fault our son is dead. We are fully confident that you did as best as you possibly can. We have digested and are aware that he likely did as best as he could. That, you know, in war, sometimes there are casualties. And it just so happened that at that point in time, you know, the cards fell where they may. And at the end of that process, you know, our son gave his life for his country. We're not about to be, you know, angry about that. We're not going to blame people about that. That's not something that we have ever been in the interest of doing. You know, so like essentially you blame yourself, but that's bullshit. It wasn't your fucking fault, and we don't blame you. And we are very proud of our son who gave his life for his country. And I think he was able to convey to them one of the pieces of the puzzle here as well. Because, but as part of the engagement where this particular soldier died, part of that engagement, oh yeah, that's right. They don't get up. Not whenever they're in the general area zone where wandering puppet soldiers have been. Bird hunting, man. Harder than it sounds. There we go. Now.
Roger.
Hell yeah. Okay, so. I believe that Craig Mullaney was actually able to sort of elaborate on this point. The engagement that got this particular soldier killed was an engagement where they had to sort of clear out a cave of enemy insurgents, and as part of that process, that's how he got killed. But the cave, it seemed, had a bomb improvised explosive device maker somewhere inside the cave who had a detonator. The whole thing was a trap. It was a setup. And the setup was that whenever you see the Americans, when and if you see the Americans whenever they attack, they are only part of this entire place that is flat enough that a helicopter is most likely to land there is right here. And that's where we're going to set the explosives. And it was, he sort of pieced all of that information together almost as it was happening. Like, it was certainly, like, after the fact, but not, like, in an after-action report or something like that way, way later. It was, like, as he was evacuating this particular soldier who was very clearly already gone. So, it was an incredible little incident. So, you know, it was at that point in time whenever he sort of made the discovery and observation that this particular soldier who gave his own life during this mission, this particular soldier might have saved a shitload of others. They were going to evac via helicopter no matter what. And if the plan of the bomb maker had gone off without a hitch, the helicopter would have went down, and so would everybody that stepped into that helicopter, bar none. As like this one kid, this like E1, E nothing straight out of high school, probably just saved the lives of about like 50 people. Like, yes and no, right? Because the kid wasn't the only person there. You know, he was just part of the observation. You know, he's the one that managed to lose his life during the mission. All of the above, right? So, like, not super duper likely that the kid himself was, you know, shouldering the burden of saving everyone. It was like his squad, his whatever, whoever went in there and did their job in just the right way to foil the bomb maker's plans.
Oh, Snake!
So it wasn't like precisely just the kid, but I'm sure he relayed that information to his parents that like his kids could have very much saved the lives of many other soldiers, many other fathers, sons, husbands. There wasn't any wives at the time.
I wonder what he
in
thinks
combat
of
arms.
me. I have not seen him lately. Maybe he is angry. There is something I am hiding from Chico. Or I thought there was. It was. And then No, that is not right. But I am an angel of peace. I am a student. I'm sorry, Snake. My head hurts. Could you let me rest?
Son of a bitch, I do have something to do tomorrow. Did I get that tape? Isn't there a tape that comes out of that? Maybe I left too early. Maybe there's not a tape for every visit. I don't know. But there's fucking copyright infringement going on in the background. So don't be too shocked and amazed if this VOD gets muted. Mother base soldier, heavy infantry. So, we've got Beyond Duty. That was one of the things that we had to read. We have the Unforgiving Men of the Soldier's Education. That was one of the things. We actually had a variety of options that we could read, and that was one of them. That was the one I chose, not knowing what I was getting into, but I'm very glad to have made the choice. Still am to the day. But it was these sorts of tales that we would read over and over again as part of the military science curriculum, and they all had like a similar thing that an officer cared so much about their soldiers that they ensured their protection to the best of their abilities and still failed at times. Can you remember, if you've ever watched Band of Brothers? These are reenactments of actual events inside Band of Brothers. So, if you've ever watched Band of Brothers, they're reenactments of actual events during World War II that Easy Company and the like were subjected to. And that paramilitary unit. And at some point in time, there was this engagement, and I think it was Colonel Winters or Captain Winters or whatever. I think it was Winters, the officer, who led the charge at a certain point in time, crested a hill just to find the enemy set up facing the wrong side. And him and the German soldier at the Wehrmacht, they both stared at each other for a moment before he began to open fire, signaling the rest of his platoon to open fire. And he took that hill beautifully, producing many casualties and producing many prisoners of war. But I think it was that particular engagement which costed another soldier their life on the American side, on the Allied side.
Be careful down there, boss.
And so, let me try to spot him first. It won't mark him, but now we know where he is. So, that's gonna be a son of a bitch. Anyways, I'm thinking about something else. But, I think it was that particular engagement which costed another, Allied soldier his life. And Winters is speaking to either his another commanding officer or his contemporary, who is a drunk and but another good officer besides his alcoholism.
9 years.
One of the guys out on a mission at the time. He's fallen a long way from the glory days. But will he come back to us? Bring him home, boss.
So he was either speaking to a commanding officer or to his contemporary, his alcoholic contemporary. And down by Smossy Fort, that's gonna be a son of a bitch. Yeah, we have to get to Yakuobo and box teleport there. That's gonna be our best bet. But so he's talking to his commanding officer or his contemporary, and I believe it was his alcoholic contemporary. And as part of that conversation, he says he's lamenting the fact that he lost that soldier, his singular soldier, and his boss or contemporary. And I do believe it was his contemporary, if I'm remembering this correctly. He says, you know, so-and-so, they died as part of the attack. And he says an entire, the other officer that he's talking to says, an entire platoon, so-and-so. He's like, that's pretty good for so-and-so. Essentially, he's trying to like tell Winters that in the grand scheme of things, you know, losing one person to take an entire Wehrmacht platoon is incredible. That's a 1 to like 50, you know, thing here. You know, that's like you're taking out 50 enemies and you're only losing one man. He's like, he's broken up about the fact that he lost one man. He should be ecstatic that he only lost one man and he took 50 of the enemy. That's incredible. There is a cold and calculating math of war. War's a dangerous thing, you know, and stuff like that. But the reality, like what I'm trying to get across, and what, you know, the powers that be who were who were designing the exercise or the military science curriculum of the U.S. Army Senior Reserve Officer Training Corps. What they were trying to get across, and what I'm trying to get across right here, right now, is the same thing. That the hearts of these men, without exception, wanted war without casualty. They wanted to never lose a man. All of them, to a man, were riddled with post-traumatic stress disorder and the like, not just because they had lost their own men, but also that because they had killed their fellow humans. It's a highly unnatural act. There are many philosophers that are insistent that that violence is the nature of man, and that might be true. But to kill, we have seen over and over and over again, to kill is such a specific and we've seen the what happens to people who kill. We've seen the illnesses that they have, the illnesses that they had even to perform murder in the first place, whenever it's not a sanctioned event, whenever it's not a cop taking down a subject or something like that. So whenever it's not a sanctioned event, then, you know, we of course have this situation where it's I didn't mean to throw that third one, but the fourth one, that was on me. I know. I'm extracting, right? And I'm trying to get rid of Diamond Dog's members. All these things are correct, yes.
Roger that.
However, the side op is to get rid of these. There's only essentially one way to get rid of these soldiers without killing them. Holding them up doesn't count.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
So this entire playthrough is an exemplification of all of this. It's an exemplification of not just the fact that that real life, not just the fact that real life officers in the United States military and real life, you know, people whose jobs it is to do war. It's not just that they are unwilling and sometimes even wholesale unable to take out a target or whatever the fuck you want to call it, to do murder, to wage war. So not only are they, of course, unwilling and sometimes wholesale unable to do these acts,
He's coming too. Roger that.
and riddled with mental illness to be able to do this, and indeed to because they do this as well. So this confirmed unnatural act that leaves both parties, like one of them, of course, either injured as a casualty of war or dead as a casualty of war. Not just that, but also that
Leave the rest to us.
not just that, but also that these that what people want out of war, conflict, and everything is an impossibility. You know, this is the best that I can do to try to convey to a layman the impossibility of war without casualty. This is the best that I can do. If I could put together some amazing documentary that, you know, would absolutely cause you to be able to empathize with people that are incredible in some way. And I'm using the term incredible to mean like extraordinary. Like, it's not strictly a positive context, not strictly a negative context. I'm not attempting to convince you to be a person who likes the military and the people that are in it. I'm not trying to convince you to be patriotic. But statistically speaking, at a bare minimum, the ability to go through boot camp is not a trial that everyone passes. The ability to go through A school, MOS training, the specialization required to be somebody who does something inside the United States military or militaries in general around the world. All of that, these are not trials that everyone passes. And statistically speaking, of course, there are, I think it's far less, I think it's far less than 1%, like 0.1% of the population that is ever in the military at any length of time here in America at a bare minimum. So, like, they're extraordinary in that way. In that way of being statistically different, in that way of being a man apart, in that manner, very specifically. You know what I mean? So that's part of it. Part of it is showing you that you know that this is, if I could tell you that the weight of these actions, if I could exemplify the weight of these actions in some incredible documentary that is forcing you to see into the souls of people that you may never be, to see into the souls of the people that you may never be, not because you're lazy and I'm strong and that's why I was able to get through boot camp, it's because I tried and you guys are a bunch of, you know, bullshit or whatever. Like, no, that's not what I'm not here to pound my chest or pound the chests of any of my contemporaries inside the armed forces community in general, inside militaries across the planet. That's not what this is here for. You may, in fact, not be able to join the military due to something that might not be your fault. Like being born without all of your limbs or something like that, or having vision uncorrectable to 20/20 or something like that. There's many, many reasons why you may be disqualified from the military that is wholesale and brutally not your fault, empirically not your fault. But you may never be these, so you may never be these people by no fault of your own. You could try as hard as you can to be these people. And it may never be the case. You may never get there to the point where you are a fellow member of the United States military or someone else who has to perform war in some capacity, even if it's, you know, the police force performing a war on drugs. To perform war in this capacity, there are, of course, myriad side effects, and all I can do to put you in the shoes of someone who performs this, all I could do is this, because I can't make this great documentary or something like that that can change your life otherwise. This is the best that I can do to give tribute to my contemporaries.
I joined in. And there's Huey refereeing. He said, "We have forsaken our countries and become one with the earth." It is good being here together with everyone, you know? It was... And then No, that is not right. But I am an angel of peace. I am a student. My head, it hurts.
So this is the best that I can do to put you in the shoes of someone who has to perform war in this way, in this capacity, and get you to understand the burden that they have. You may understand all of this on an intellectual level, but to understand it on an emotional level is a hell of a thing. And I don't know how to do that for you. I don't know. And with this challenge run, I'm doing the best that I possibly can to do so. It's all I can do. It's the only thing that I can do. And I hope in some way,
Roger.
I'm able to do so. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But all I can do is the best I possibly can.
On station at LZ.
I hope in some way I've been effective. In some small way. I can still remember so many different things, and this is part of this project and why it is personal to me. Or this whole thing with whatever this challenge run. I can still remember whenever I was in MS3, whenever I was a junior in university, and the MS4s, the seniors, they were in charge of the military science program, and they had all almost unanimously came to a conclusion that if you care about your soldiers too much, it will tear you to shreds. That was the message that they invariably and to a man got from these readings, from Unforgiving Minutes, A Soldier's Education, from Beyond Duty, from these sorts of stories from these real-life officers again and again and again. They got the stories, they got the moral, the lesson, the moral of the story to them was that if you care, it will tear you apart. So do not care about your soldiers. If you care about your soldiers, it is only going to damage you in your life. But it was the exact opposite that the United States Army was attempting to convey to us. The United States Army was, of course, attempting to convey that the only way that you can protect as many of your men as possible and to get anywhere close to the dream that is war without casualties, the only way that you can do this, the only way, is to care, is to really care as much as you possibly can, and with all of your heart and with all of your being, to care about your men and do as best as you possibly can. That you're not going to get there, but that's all that you can do. And whenever I was in command leadership school at Fort Knox that summer in 2000, close, whenever you get to that high of a level, the scale only goes up to 010. So whenever you get to that high of a level, you begin to count your chair in position to be the president. That's just how high of a military rank that really is. And she came out and she gave this speech to everybody, to all of us military officer potentials. And she drove home repeatedly one point. She said, if there's any point that I want you to take into your memory and into your mind and your body and into yourself, what I really want you to remember and take it into your soul is to use gas just to give a shit. She shouted it. She repeated it over and over. Just give a shit. And all of these seniors, and many of my contemporaries, my fellow juniors at the time, and those below, you know, the freshmen and sophomores, many of them got the exact opposite story. They got the exact opposite moral and lived to it as much as they possibly could. And it was flabbergasting to me, and it continues to be to this day, that they are to treat their men as flippantly as possible in order to gain results without it affecting them, even after we have repeatedly been told that it's not about you, that this is not about you, this is about your men, this is about the mission, this is about the reason behind war, because the reason that we do war is for peace. And I know that philosophically, again and again, we are told that the reason behind war is that war can never lead to peace, but it's bullshit. After World War II, wars wholesale ended for a great period of time, and this point was even made in other wars. Inside Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, in that game, they begin to argue that the Cold War isn't a war at all. Whenever it comes to the people who are fighting and dying, it is at such a low number during the Cold War that it could invariably and accurately be called world peace. Time and again, we war so that we may peace. We war so that we may enjoy peace. That's what all of us do. Even the very nature of war is not to kill. That is a potential and almost inevitable side effect, is to kill. But to produce casualty is not to kill. To produce casualty, to shoot someone in order to stop them from shooting you anymore. To produce casualty, to rescue them, to give them proper medical care, to bring them back to health, and to have them, possibly in gratitude or otherwise, inform us of many other places, so that we may disarm their contemporaries and push forward without producing additional casualties, without war, without lifting a finger, as Sun Tzu stated repeatedly, is of course the ultimate victory. War without casualties is the ultimate victory, and it is the goal, however impossible it may be. And you can see me struggling in this tiny little scale, just here with this game. And that's the point. That's always been the point. So I hope it gets across to you. Now, in my own life, I have made this mistake rather recently. I told my grandfather that I have nothing to do tomorrow. So he's invited me to a birthday party, and I have to be at the farm at 2:30 in the afternoon. But I do have something to do tomorrow. I have to go donate plasma so I can afford the gas to get to school. And that's what I've been mumbling under my breath as I've come to that realization within this stream itself. So, in service to that, I am obviously going to have to wake up incredibly early and try to make the roughly 1 hour long drive to the plasma center to get there as early as possible, just in case there's any delays, so that I may donate plasma, earn money, save lives. The people who need plasma and don't have it, they die without it. So are you all you wish? It is a life-saving procedure for the people who receive my plasma. So I have to go donate plasma, earn money, save lives, and all of that tomorrow. And it is at least equally as important to go with my grandfather, ensuring that nothing happens to him along the way, that he's able to complete this journey, you know, at his advanced age, and that I can see my family and everything. So in service to that, I will end this stream now, quickly eat some things to fill my belly so that I can fall asleep, and then and try to do all that. So for now, I must bid you adieu. I hope that something of what I have done comes through in this, even if it is only to myself, considering that no one's ever gonna fucking watch this shit. Anyways, talk to you later.